Altered Carbon Episode 4. It's improving. Not greatly, but it's improving. Still has the same problems as the last few issues. It's more focusing on the world and building the world than building the characters. It does try to build the characters, but not in the right way. It shows this. The main police officer that we've been following, there's been a police character that we've been following throughout the series so far. Shows her grandmother, but she basically put the stack of her grandmother inside the neck of a criminal that had just been arrested at the beginning of this episode. So she ends up taking the stack of her grandmother, which is inside of this criminal. So it's basically her grandmother, but with the body of a criminal, of this criminal, to a family dinner, because it's the Day of the Dead. And basically, she has dinner with her family and this criminal, her aunt, inside the criminal's body. But her family is like really religious. They are against using the stacks, but she is all for it because it helps her do her job. Her family is against it, and yeah, basically have a whole side story of them basically saying, well, it's not the way it's meant to go. It's not the way it's meant to be. We also then get the continuation of the main storyline, where our protagonist, Takeshi Kovacs, has been kidnapped. He is in a virtual reality being tortured by the brother of the person that attacked him in the first episode. He tortures him. It's really violent, because he burns him to a crisp, chops his legs off, even puts leeches, but they're like giant leeches, and they crawl into his body. But then we get a series of flashbacks showing how Takeshi Kovacs was trained to deal with virtual reality torture. And basically, we're also shown more of his feelings towards this woman that he's been seeing in like memories and in dreams. We find out that she was the leader of the envoys, like before Takeshi Kovacs died and was put into this new body. And we find out that he had feelings for this woman, that's why he's seeing her so much. And that's the way he gets out of this virtual prison. he manages to blag his way out of it. But when he does get out of this virtual prison, instead of just like jumping out of a window, he decides to grab his gun and shoot everyone, kill everyone that's in this building. The main police officer gets called to finds out about this place, sees everything that they've been doing. Instead of seeing the woman, the like prostitute from the last two-ish episodes, like lying there with her chest open and the machine like taking out all of her organs, instead of seeing that, she sees that the tracking device that she put on Takeshi Kovacs has been taken off, and he left a body with its head chopped off with the middle finger up. But the scene where Takeshi Kovacs is leaving and like shooting everyone, I liked that scene, and I liked when he left. He meets up with his partner character, and he's kind of with this sumo wrestler guy from the last two episodes, and Kovacs just shoots the sumo wrestler guy, kills him, and his partner is like, well, I was going to let him live. And I don't know, I found it funny. So the show is getting better. My only gripe is that the side stories aren't really important. Like, we don't really need them. We don't really need to see any more of this cops aren't. We didn't really need to see, like, the whole virtual reality torture scenario. That would have been good if they had spent the whole episode devoted to that. Devoted to building up his past, his stuff. But the rest of the episode, half of the episode is practically pointless. And the other half is really interesting, and we want to see more of that. Well, I wanted to see more of that anyway. But it just seems like for every good thing that this show does, there's another thing that's... For every interesting scene, there are two, like, boring, needless scenes. Like, we finally have some build-up, some tension, like, there are stakes here. We know that the villain is willing to kill people. We know how far the villains are willing to go. Give us more of that. Like, you want to build up a character, build up the character that's torturing Takeshi Kovacs. Don't build up a side character, and don't introduce a character that's just going to die at the end of the episode. So yeah, it's just, I didn't enjoy the stuff with the aunt and the cop. Didn't enjoy that stuff. Enjoyed the virtual reality torture stuff and all the flashbacks. Enjoyed that. I want to see more of what Takeshi Kovacs' life was before that. Before he died, before he got put in the body of Joel Kinnaman. We also get to see at the end of the episode that the next episode is going to be flashback centric, but it's going to be flashbacks of stuff that we're not really interested in. And that's the backstory of the body that Takeshi Kovacs is in now, who is this guy called Riker. We're going to get flashbacks, and we're going to get a backstory on that. Which could end up being really important, but it does seem like they don't really... the show doesn't really care about its main premise, which is the show is supposed to be about finding out who killed this wealthy businessman who is back alive in another body. That's the premise of the show, but it seems more interested in building up stakes and introducing new characters that want to kill Takeshi Kovacs and building up side characters. And it seems to be more along the lines of showing you a world instead of being the detective story that it's supposed to be. We had a bit more of that in the second episode with the detective work, but it still is more like, I want to see action. I want to see action, but I don't want to see needless. Like, I don't want to see I don't want it to be like action that has nothing to do with the plot or doesn't progress the plot. This is all just a bit pointless. So yeah, it was an alright episode. It was kind of it's hit and miss. Like, there are things that are good with the show. For every good thing that happens in Altered Carbon, there are two more things that, for every good thing there are two bad things. I think that's the main problem. The world is interesting, the characters that are in the world are not. And there are 6 episodes left, and I hope that one of those 6 episodes is gonna give us a bit more backstory on Takeshi Kovacs and show us interesting stuff, not just stuff that happens to be convenient for the plot. So, yeah, I have been Luke Warner. There will be no comic book haul video this week because I only got one book. There will be a review for that tomorrow afternoon. But until then, leave a comment, leave a like, share this video with your family and friends, and most importantly, hit that big red subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss out on one of my videos. I will see you guys tomorrow.